Dear friends, I want to continue this tradition that we started during my previous address of recording messages not only in Georgian in order to be able to reach our immigrants living abroad, because a lot of people ask us how they can participate as supporters of our society, our movement, in terms of their input. And we normally identify 4 areas for those who want to support ERI, Ertobarao Baimedi, our national movement or social movement, which will be later whenever the parliamentary elections are appointed and announced, will be transferred into a political party. But up until then, we prefer to keep our movement in this form because it provides for better flexibility in terms of attracting support within the boundaries of Georgian legal system. So we normally say to our supporters to be that there are 4 typical or classical venues down which each and every one of you, those interested in supporting us, can take part in what we're doing. And number 1 is your ability to publicly articulate our common traditionalist ideology. This is a very important part of what we do. We do believe that whatever we say, irrespective of whether we're saying this among our friends, family members, neighbors, relatives, social and media networks, virtual networks, wherever you are present, articulation and substantiation and argumentation of what we are about is a quintessential part of our doing. And therefore, we urge all of our supporters to be vocal, articulate, eloquent, and logical in their judgment. And we don't believe an active supporter should be passive, silent, and quiet, because this is an ideological opposition with anti-national, anti-human ideologies, be it liberal or Marxist or fascist, it doesn't matter, they're all the same to us. And we invite everyone to participate in this discourse. For this very reason, we do hold regular meetings on Skype or Zoom weekly for new supporters. They take place normally on Mondays at 9 p.m. Tbilisi time. So for those of you who are interested in participating in those, you can go to our website, eri.g, and register as supporters, and you will receive information regarding upcoming events and participate in those. Those meetings are held in Georgian language for obvious reasons, and we make a more detailed presentation of our plans, our programs, our next steps, our vision of the ideology suited and beneficial to Georgia. And we have Q&A sections during which we answer as many questions as we can in those meetings online. And those of you who are interested in being more vocal about our common vision of how Georgia should develop in the years to come are invited to participate in those meetings, in those exchanges, and hopefully you will hear and learn some things that are interesting and new for you. Second way of supporting what we do is to enlist as the participants in the election administration teams, because on the day of the election we will need our supporters properly organized to protect our votes against being falsified or stolen. And that job normally is outsourced to hired specialists, but that's a very slippery road, and the bigger percentage you have of people who are ideologically on the same page as you are, the more secure you are in terms of controlling, in a country like Georgia, the vote counting process, which is very important. So you are invited to enlist and sort of check on your registration form if you're willing to be trained online by our trainers in the election day vote calculation process. So you become an administrator, an overseer of this or that part where votes are being counted, and you have undergone the training and you know what you need to do to protect our votes, which is a very important part of participation of supporters. A third form or a third option for those of you who are interested is also participating in social Q&A and reviews that we intend to conduct on a regular basis in different parts of Georgia, because it's important for us to understand what people think and how is it in tune with our vision of what is to be done. So social questionnaires and going out in the field and asking people for their opinion is a profession of its own, and we have wonderful professional trainers who are conducting these trainings. I've attended a few of those, and I must tell you that it's extremely exciting and interesting part of our work, and we need volunteers to take part in those. Because unfortunately, outsourcing these in Georgia, in a country like Georgia, to existing institutions who intend to do this objectively is not always very reliable, and is also a slippery road. And so we've decided to develop this capability within our organization, and we need people who are interested in doing this. This, by the way, can be done not only in Georgia, but also among the circles of the immigrants living outside of Georgia, and you're welcome to try to do that with our support and help. And of course, last but not least importantly, I need to mention the donor participation. This culture, this political culture, is very underdeveloped in Georgia, where every party is financed through the government budget, and it's a pseudo form of democracy, whereas we do believe that if we want to develop a political culture which is much closer to the people's needs, we need to enable ourselves to have political movements supported directly from the grassroots by the people, and therefore we're not ashamed about asking for your participation. We've always said that our movement is not the movement of any one man or any one man's pocket. And for those of you who do share our views, do believe in our sincerity, are definitely invited as donors. And it doesn't matter what is it that you can donate on a regular basis to our movement. Is it 1 cent, 1 Larry, or is it more than that? It's all about taking part, taking action, being proactive, and doing something actually productive and constructive. So these are the 4 forms of participation of our supporters, and you are kindly invited to all 4 of them. And we are ready to embrace you and do our part in supplying you with necessary answers and information about any questions you may have. Thank you very much for your attention.